did it. All grind. I'm going in, got me like all grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 All grind. I'm going in. All grind. I'm gonna win. Flip the let it I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I did it. All grind. I'm going in. Got me like all grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, all grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. And I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. I'm going in. Flip these. They letting I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut the knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.
Guys, welcome back to yet again League of Legends. We are in qualifiers with the end parts of our qualifiers. This is the qualifiers for Legends Ascent South Asia. It's me, Madness, alongside a familiar face of the League community, the Singla, aka Gracias, and people who've been playing this game as long as he has do recognize this man. And Singla, any notes or thoughts about how these games will be?
Thank you so much. First of all, very excited about the games that are gonna happen today. Madness. I mean, the yesterday game were so neck to neck. Excitedly, both the teams were. It was so much confusion who's gonna win today. So I think I'm expecting a very exciting game today as well. I think we have some of the very common and famous people who are playing today's game. So I'm very excited to see who takes the trophy.
Yeah, it's people that you've also played against, played with, just fun games, so you know them pretty well. Once you get into Rift, see their names, you recognize them completely. Yeah, and as you said, yesterday's game, completely neck and neck going between Power Patrol. Power Patrol, technically, it was a reverse sweep, given that they lost first game and won the next two. But let's take a bit of a closer look at what these teams are actually fighting for. You guys, this is the qualifiers for the Legends Ascent tournament, which has one of the biggest prize pools our regions has seen, and hopefully in the future it does increase, but this is honestly a very big one. 10 lakh prize pool, but more importantly, it has that spot at the LCP wildcard playoffs, and that's what most of these teams are fighting for, a chance to represent your region against the best of the best teams internationally, and to seek fame, glory that way as well. So money alongside the spotlight, that does mean a lot to a lot of these teams. Take a look at how we get. As I said, we're in qualifier 3, qualifier 1, qualifier 2 already gone by. We are in the penultimate day of qualifier 3. After that, the league stage will begun with all the 9 qualifiers between June 13th to July 20th, and obviously the playoffs between July 25th to August 3rd. The tournament format, as you know, 9 teams round robin league stage, so it's 3 from each qualifier, 3 into 9. You got their teams, and they have to battle out at a higher part because only top 4 will move on to your double elimination playoffs bracket. Another reminder to everybody: this is full fearless draft. The league community has completely embraced this since the beginning of this year. Every single tournament being played everywhere is fearless draft, and we are no exception at all. Today's schedule will be Syndicate, very nice logo made by Harry Joshi himself, against Eclipse. A bit of a team that was a bit of mismatched individuals that were brought together, and they've made it very far in this tournament, almost all the way through this qualifier. So doing a fantastic job over here. And talking about Joshi's team a bit, I think you recognize some faces of this. You got Yuzunaki Kagura, you got Joshi himself, you got Zuko playing over there. So these couple of players that know from the scene from before, right?
I am very excited to watch that team. Actually, I have just not seen them in the scene, but I have played. I mean, Zuko and I are ex-teammates, so I'm very excited to see how this team is going to do today. But at the same time, when you told me, I mean, Eclipse especially, I really want to take command for this team. 5 different random people coming together and making it to the playoffs. Wow, very excited to see what they have for us today.
Absolutely. As you said, when you bring 5 individuals together, you don't know what's going to happen. But this is basically best case scenario. They've done fantastically for themselves, made it all the way to semifinals 2 over here. We'll be shortly going into the draft between these 2 teams. But yes, it already looks like it's a pretty well, thought about, because I think even the Syndicate team is a bit different from what it was in the last qualifier. They almost made it all the way through. It was a bit of a tough unluckiness against Revenants. They just couldn't get past that hurdle. Other than that, I thought they were a pretty strong contender for that qualifier, and I really think that they are, I think, the top pick, at least currently right now, for this tournament. But upsets do happen every day. Eclipse, as you said, 5 individual players coming together, showing wonders essentially from what kind of lineup and how they have been playing. And it's not an easy battle that they will be up against, but yes, hopefully come on top. But without any further ado, guys, we're going to be heading straight into the draft. You can already see Eclipse have banned out the Aatrox, the Karthus, while Syndicate have banned out the Renekton against Zuko.
I think the next band that should be coming here should be Shaco, because I think Haribai is. Oh wait, Haribai is not playing in the top
No,
five.
Haribai
Right?
is, he's
That's why we
in the
have not
subs
seen.
right now.
That's why we have not seen the Shaco ban as of now. So
Yeah.
very excitedly, let's see. I mean, another beautiful thing that about Eclipse that they have shown is, it's the love of the game. If you have the dedication, you
Absolutely.
can make through anything. What uh, what is the next band that you think is gonna come up here?
I think it's a bit of a tough choice. They've gone for more, desired and objected bans at these players, not more the meta. Syndicate's gone more meta wise with the Renekton, especially with the buff that he's received. The Ezreal, very tricky thing to get.
Oh
Another
wow,
good ban coming out, the Lucian,
ADC.
because Lucian essentially, if you get the Braum on the other side with the Lucian, it's a very deadly combo to go against in the bot lane. And Lucian's doing phenomenally in the current meta that he's in. But that being said, Senna rounds out what Eclipse had for their bannings. You already have your first bans. And hopefully, maybe in game 2, game 3, we don't see the continuous bans that have been going on, but maybe a differentiation. And instantly, Eclipse locking in that Kaiser, the hyper carry later on, as their first pick.
No, I mean that's wonderful, and we've seen people prioritizing Kai'Sa being it's an ADC that can feel itself and has the hyper carry potential as well, right? So I think that's a very good band. That's a very good
Mhm.
pick when it comes to your first blind pick. Now let's see what is the answer. That okay, they have a Tristana locking in instantly into a Kai'Sa, and that's a very strong matchup again, right? Tristana is
Yep.
known to be a lane bully, so let's see how it goes
Oh,
with it.
absolutely. And yeah, the Alistar getting hovered currently right now with that Tristana. It's not a bad pairing with the CC that you want later on. Obviously, other things, and as you said, Tristana a bit of a lane bully right there. So Abdo, I don't think Abdo is playing the ADC role. I think it's going to be Harambe
Okay.
that's going to be the ADC. So Abdo will be the support, and it's going to be the Alistar that gets locked in.
Right, I think with Alistair being locked in another, let's see what is the counter pick that they are looking forward for support. But I think Braum can be a good pick because I've seen Abderraizen playing a lot of Braum, right? And Braum can be great into the all-in that Tristana and Alistair bring in. So I think Nautilus will struggle here. Braum can be the best pick, but let's see what is in the mind of Eclipse here to do. Oh, they locked in the jungle. They're going in with Shinja first. Well, with Shinzo, I think we're going to see a lot of aggressive early game. That is something I'm very
Yeah.
excited about, and let's see how that goes. But yeah, Shinzo is something very excited to see in the scene. That keeps the early
Yeah.
game very crisp and interesting.
Exactly. Sinjao, Jarvins, these are kind of the picks that you want. If your jungler is very aggressive early on, exactly what you would be looking to log in. They're taking down the timer all the way from the last pick. And it's going to be that Braum
It
that you were
is the
talking
Braum.
about. I was talking about the pre-draft as well. It's just such a strong support with this, like the Lucian Bronco, the Kaiser Braum combo. It's just a lot of things that can be done with this champion. Provides a lot of appeal for yourself. Not that Kaiser needs it that much compared to other ADCs, but still a very good pairing over there. What do you think the third pick of Syndicate could be over here?
It has to be a jungler here. Again, they have a lot of. Okay, well, now they have picked volleyball, so I think these people are just going to go all in. Attack is the best defense. So I think Syndicate is just going to go very aggressive, trying to hold that early game, trying to take the lead, and just snowball from there. I mean, let's see how much they are able to accomplish that. But now the bats that we should see here should be towards the mid laner, right? They have banned Victor.
Hmm.
We get a Mundo. Mundo is a good blind pick that has been banned from the Eclipse side, right? Again, I think Braum is a
Yeah,
lovely pick here because with all the aggression that Syndicate has brought in with their draft, Braum is just a beautiful counter pick for that. Let's see how it works out for the draft for them. But the
yeah,
next pick
absolutely.
is
It
going to
does
be
look
for
good.
yeah, the
It's
next
going to
pick
be
is
the
going to be for Syndicate.
Darius.
I think it's going to be a mid pick here, and they're going to give the last pick to their top laner. Let's see what do they prefer to pick in blind pick here. Oh, Ari has been banned. Ari is honestly one of the best pick to blind pick here with all the damage that they already have. What do you think, Mandis? Bhai? What is that Syndicate will be picking here? Will it be more of a
I,
control or a hyper pick, hyper carry?
I think it should be more control over here, given that you just let your son go. But it's going to be the Vel'Koz logged in. I haven't seen a Vel'Koz in most of the tournaments that have been cast till now, especially in the mid lane, and that's exactly what they're going to blind pick for themselves over. They're very immobile champion, but can do a lot. Azap does a lot with it, a lot going on. But yeah, the Mundo getting seen a lot of bans right now just because of Alois. I think he's just accelerated the pick rate of the
Stronger now.
champion with his push mentality. Yeah, and it is actually very shocking. Especially we saw it yesterday in game one between Power Patrol and RPG. So that just puts that into mind. It's gonna be a Diana answer in the mid lane, and we yet to see what they want to go on the top side with Zuko.
Yeah, I mean Diana is a beautiful counter to Valkos, especially in the lane because Valkos again is a hyper carry but also very squishy at the same time. So Diana can be a really good lane bully after level 3. So I think again a wonderful pick by Eclipse. Let's see how it works out. And obviously Nard. Nard is one of the most safest blind pick when it comes to top. Right? Can does not really have any hard counters when it comes especially for laning phase. So I think a good play. And it
Mm.
is very comfort pick for Crown. So yeah, very excited to see. I think the drop for the blue side
Hey,
is ready. What is that the red side is gonna pick? They have the damage, they have the tanks, they have the engage. What do you think is gonna come? Cho'Gath. Yes, it's a Cho'Gath. I think Cho'Gath is again a very, very beautiful pick. Cho'Gath is very, very strong right now. I think he has got hard nerf from last few patch, but still it's a beautiful pick, right? A tank which
mm,
can hyper scale and do a lot of damage at the same time. So yeah, I mean, that's a I think on the drafting side, who do you think, or who do you think is more strong as per you, Mister? As per you, Madness?
I would side slightly with Eclipse, just of how the banning, just draft wise, essentially right now. I like that they have a pretty very overall balanced comp from themselves. A lot of engage on them. Kaiser can follow up very easily. A lot of peel for your Kaiser as well. A lot of initiating fights. You have a Vel'Koz that's very immobile, so a lot of gang potential in mid lane for them. The Cho'Gath, Lechonka did play this in the quarterfinals as well. Did phenomenally on it. So hope to see good things from him. But yeah, as you talked about, Zuko, very well versed on the Nar, very comfortable in a very good spot. And it's always a very good, blind pick that you can go for, especially when you're Redick and it's not in the picture. So I would slightly favor Eclipse's draft. What about you over here, Gracias?
No, I think that's very well put. I think Blue Draft is very strong, but at the same time, they don't have any poke,
Mm-hmm.
poke in their
True.
draft. So I think when it comes to all in, Blue will be very strong if they can execute it rightly. But at the same time, if when it comes to pick and run, I think Syndicate has a beautiful, draft as well, with Valko's passive and R, with Tristana bombing, with her all in, with having the right amount of tanks. So I think it's going to be a very close matchup. I think Brom and Shinzo are going to play a key role, right? While
Mhm.
defending their team with Brom shield and Shinzo ult, right? At the same time, this game is going to be very close and exciting for my eyes. Both the drafts are very strong. Let's see who takes away the game today or the game one.
Yeah, exactly like you said, the 5v5 Eclipse slightly going to come up on top, so Syndicate have to take slower in the fights and do proper back to front to back, like take it on the solo pace. But Eclipse have so many initiative, a lot of fights and go in a lot. Yeah, but that Xinjiao early on will be much more powerful in the volleyball in terms of gank potential that Xinjiao does provide. Right, level 3 just go in. Yesterday we even saw the Graves try to do a sneaky level 3 inside. He did get his right in up a bit in lane, but unfortunately the matchup didn't work out for the investment went to false. So you have to also think a bit about the ROIs of certain moves that you do in the early game potential. And let's just see, maybe we get to see a level 1 kind of trade-off, because until now in this tournament we haven't seen that much level 1s coming in. And I especially want to see maybe Eclipse trying to do something with that Brom with them.
No, I mean, for sure. I don't think so. Syndicate with Alistair are going to go aggressive on level 1. But when it comes to your
Mhm.
aggression specifically, I'm very excited to see this Diana pick, right? Diana is going to clear and going to roam a lot. If Valkos can keep her in lane, survive, that can be wonderful. Otherwise, Nar and Diana are going to be the lane bully, and they're going to roam around with the along with the Xin Zhao. So I'm excited to see how they're going to keep in the lane, and if they're able to shut them down early game. Because when it comes to late game, I think Syndicate is just going to be that strong.
Yeah, exactly. Syndicate will be pretty strong. You have a lot of scaling, as you said, with that Cho'Gath in you. The Tristana, once you get the 3 items in her pocket, can do so much. I'm pretty sure Potato Monster is very happy in the chat seeing some Tristana gameplay coming out over here. So yeah, so we have people have favorite champions, and you have something like this. Like Cho'Gath, usually don't see it usually in the Rift, but in certain hands it can do phenomenally. Especially, I think Lechonko does a fantastic job with it, and with the comp that he was presented in front of him, it does seem like an excellent pick coming from him. But like you said, the Diana Xinjiao, that engage that these two provide in these team fights, and Yukizuko picks up a big, 4-man, 5-man Mega Nar ult, can change a lot about how you want to go for these fights. And yesterday we were seeing most of the games were actually just decided by that first Grubs fight that was happening. It was either team going down, and they stayed pretty much down for the rest of the time that was in the Rift, at least for that game. So hopefully we get to see maybe a bit more macro noise coming in, the good lane swaps at around the 7 minute, 7.5 minute mark, and we get to see some good League of Legends from these two teams, because they're definitely capable of it, and this is their fight to try and get into Ascent in the first try over here.
No, exactly. And I think yesterday's game we had a lot of Venoms playing. Yeah, today I think if we didn't get the Venom, we got the Cho'Gath. I think
Mm-hmm.
if Predator was happy looking at Tristana, I'm very happy to see a Cho'Gath being picked when we don't have Venom playing in a Rift. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I think because Cho'Gath early game should be or must be struggling against Nar, now being a more
Mm-hmm.
good lane bully. But if we can get through the early phase, then yes, Cho'Gath can be a wonderful pick, frontlining the entire damage against um, Fearless.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point,
Eclipse,
right?
yeah.
If he preserves enough for himself, and gets to a point where he's strong enough, that's what we were talking about. It's all about Eclipse playing the time limit and getting to the point where they can just take over these fights and know how they want to go about it, especially with your Tristana or your Cho'Gath. So they have to play according to the game plan. We have seen teams, pick up the late game champions like the Jinx, and sometimes just not play according to the plan that is being put forward, at least during the draft part, and it just gets like blown out a bit out of proportion later on in the games going forward. So they have to think a bit more about how they really want to do it in the Rift, and not let their emotions get the better of them.
And madam, since we're talking of this chapter, what are your thoughts about Fearless Draft? I think this is a beautiful new style of
Oh yeah.
game that League has introduced, the Riot has introduced, and I personally love it. I was tired of seeing the same champions again and again, right? You just get 5 bans, but with Fearless Draft, so many new champions that are getting played, so many new plays that we get to see. I think the game has just become so much more excited for us. So yeah, I think Fearless Draft is beautiful for me, but I'd love to hear about it from you too.
I think Village Life honestly is one of the best things that Riot has done for the game, especially the kind of stale state it was in, with the same champs getting picked pretty much over and over again. Who's that part? strong in the meta, and this brings out the better players, the ones who have the deeper champion pools, and not just 2 or 3 champ OTPs, and change a lot about how you actually end up going for your draft strategies moving forward. So it does make huge change, and I'm so happy we've adopted this completely in pretty much every single tournament that's happening across the world. So this is honestly a big up from Riot. Another thing, guys, we do have Discord events coming up. Please make sure to follow us on all our social medias. The link is in the description box below. We have this exciting event coming up called Rift Rivals, and it's going to be draft mode. So what that means, guys, it's going to be an auction based setup. You're going to have auctioning for the things the same way we did in the ARAM tournament, and it is the same thing, but this time it's just going to be in the Summoner's Rift. But guys, without any further ado, we are heading straight in to the Summoner's Rift. This is semi-final 2 of qualifier 3 between Team Eclipse and Team Syndicate, and it does seem that we already have a 5-man group up coming for Eclipse. We honestly thought that this is the kind of situation they want to go to, especially when you have the Braum, but I think Syndicate is going to be playing a bit on the defensive. You see that they've already set up in that tri-bush over there. They're just waiting to see if anybody actually moves forward. But look at Eclipse. They're hugging the walls. They are going to be using the Fog of War to the advantage. Maybe want to jump on the Alistar or Tristana over here. But as soon as they see them, I think they just want to get away from the Syndicate over here. And look at this. They jump onto the Tristana, but instantly Alistar's like, no, get off my ADC. But Alistar gets stunned up with the Braum passes, being forced to burn that early flash for himself. So that's a flashless Alistar, but thankfully he does have Hextech Flash for later on these fights. So this is what I kind of expected, seeing that Braum coming in for Eclipse.
I mean, you were very excited about the level 1 gank. I think they heard you, you got it. And then with the Braum, it was a very good strategy. We knew it's going to be, Alistar has to play on the back foot. And with Braum passive and Kai'Sa passive, it gives them that strength early game. They have that level 1 advantage, and they used it very well. So I think it was a good exchange of blows. Nothing lost. They got the Alistar's flash. The Let's see how the
Absolutely.
game
They get the
goes
flash.
now. I think.
Yeah, I think that they had to be a bit more cautious from the Tristana, because I think they should expect this, and they shouldn't have been playing that far, there. Maybe hug the wall a bit on the left side, maybe go that way instead. But no, instead they do get caught out. Alistar flash goes out. The top side, a lot of exchanges going down. Look at Abdo. He's just waiting very patiently over here just to hit someone with the door to the face, maybe get that advantage. Abuse at the fact that Alistar doesn't have the. Unfortunately, bad timing. The minion just walked in front of it.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think they're going to hit level 2 and they're going to look for the level 2. Alistar does not have flash. Just remember, I think this is a very good level 2 all in, and they're not able to kill him. Alistar just walks away. What a good cow. What a strong bull, I think.
But I think he's testing
like
his
nothing mattered.
luck. He's testing his luck quite a bit, just taking a lot of this to the face over here, and that's not what you'd recommend a flashless Alistar to do at that point. After doing a fantastic job of walking up, and Eclipse's bot lane, being very thorough with the fact that they're hitting the level timer much earlier, take advantage of that. So it's a bit of a slow and bad start to the side of Syndicate's bot lane. Look at this. Here goes Kagura. He goes right on to Vel'Koz. That's for Vel'Koz being forced to burn that flash very early on. He won't have a flash next 5 minutes. So it looks like Eclipse at least up in terms of the Summoner War right now.
Right, I think Eclipse is not respecting enough the all-in that, So I'm so sorry. Syndicate is not respecting enough the level advantages that Eclipse have currently. Yeah, I mean level 2 advantage, not respecting that, just walking up when the blue side is aggressively walking up, right? That's not it. I think the punishment was not enough. Eclipse should have got their first blood, but hard luck. So
yeah, honestly, I think maybe
you,
if they had a bit more pressure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Diana is gonna be a lane bully, right? And I think we discussed this in the draft itself, where Diana is either gonna bully Vel'Koz or just gonna clear up and gonna roam. So let's see how Vel'Koz can hold. If he can just clear his way with his W, with his EW, or how does he make it out? It'll be very exciting to see. Okay.
And remember, this is a flashless Alistar that's getting jumped on over here. And that's going to be first blood going over to the Kai'Sa for Eclipse. Volibear was coming around from the other side through the jungle of Eclipse, but unfortunately, Alistar just not respecting it enough that he's flashless. Now, finally, the punishment does come through. Eclipse pick up their first kill, and most importantly, it's onto their Kai'Sa, and now they can freeze the wave also pretty decently against the Tristana.
I think that was very well played by Deadeye. He knew that they do not have flash. They knew they had the Brom passive right there. And Alistair was not respecting enough that he does not have the flash and was walking up a lot. So I think that was a good punishment and a good judgment by the jungle to walk up and secure the first blood for his team. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now
The Crown has to get out of this
aggression.
exchange. He's
Do you
about
think
to
now it's
hit
gonna be
Mega
the
Nar, but yeah,
okay?
he
They
definitely
just
makes it
walk
out.
back.
There's no way that they walk
Okay,
back.
Shija
But
is
look who's
also
here. Deadice is here as well, but I don't think he can do much at this point. Unfortunately, yeah, that's just going to be it for that sake. And Drake coming up in 3 seconds. That should be the target of junglers right now. But unfortunately, a bit more in the lull state. Look at the amount that Kagura is bullying this Vel'Koz over here.
Right, it's gonna be a very hard lane for Vel'Koz to survive, especially early game, yeah? I mean, Diana can just all in with her double E dash and just kill the Vel'Koz if he does not respect it enough. So it's gonna be a hard game for Vel'Koz, and let's see how he does it because he do not even get exhaust or barrier for defense and is playing on TP. TP can be very wonderful for them to have more of map presence, but I mean, to play against Diana with the TP is gonna be a big challenge for Vel'Koz at the same time.
And that's exactly what he's facing over here. Kagura hits that level
Okay.
6, goes in, hits the R. And remember, this is a flashless Vel'Koz. One more
This is
hit
it.
with that Q lands into the face of the Vel'Koz. That's a very, very dead Rise of Duck. Man, that Duck's been cooked at this point. That's the second kill over Eclipse. One more for the feats of warfare. And very nicely timed by Kagura, hitting that level 6, goes in the all in, uses that Ignite. And that's exactly what we were talking about just a few seconds ago, Zingla. That the TP Vel'Koz will struggle a bit against the Diana. That's exactly what happened. It gives them the pressure on the map. They can now start the Drake. But look at these timers. Vel'Koz almost back into the fight and very smartly Eclipse back away from any further exchanges.
No, I mean that's good. I think that's a very smart decision by them by not greeding it. They're already in the lead, and certain kind of desperation can just set them back, right? So I think there's a smart decision to go back. Let's get a little bit more priority in the bottom, and then drag is always for their grab. I mean, at the same time,
Yeah.
let's see how this goes because I don't think that Tristana and Alistair can play aggressive here because jungle is shadowing them. Or is it a bait? Let's see if Syndicate takes the bait or does not. I
I think
don't
they have
think
to
so.
be
I
a
think
bit
they're
more
just gonna
cautious.
play.
They didn't have any
Yeah.
vision towards the riverside. This is can come from that side as well instead of this trap setup. But Volibear is close by. He's looking to pick up the scuttle, but I think he has to back away once that Jinja has been spotted over there, and that's very smartly he gets out of the way. Kagura pretty much never getting hit by these Vel'Koz Qs with the movement that he's showing, so he's in a very comfortable position. Tristana has to keep her distance once her W's down, but unlike that, Abdul goes forward, eats an E to his face, but honestly, the Alistar can't do anything in this situation except watch his AD carry eat some damage, nothing else. Kagura, as below half HP mark, Volibear is close by, but Jinjao, as you said, is shadowing there as well. The bot side of Syndicate have slowed down after that first death on the side of the Alistar, and Tristana's only about 4 CS behind at this point.
I mean, if you also see what I pointed out before, Syndicate is not respecting enough the XP advantage that Eclipse have, right? If you see the Diana just hit level 2 first, did an all-in because they had the ult first, and finished it with a beautiful fade away with his Q, right? Syndicate, especially even in the mid or in the bottom, are not respecting or counting enough the advantage. I think that's a desperation. Okay, that's a beautiful ult by Vel'Koz. I think the fight is going towards more Syndicate here. Will Syndicate? That's a dead drum. Vel'Koz just has to get the last Q hit. He misses it, but he's on the chase. Want to get the 300 gold in the pocket, and he gets it. Again, they did not. I think the Vel'Koz can do a lot of damage initially with their ult and with the true damage that he brings on the table, and they got hit by an entire combo that made them suffer. They could not end in the end, secure the kill, and Vel'Koz was able to melt the team. So I think Vel'Koz did the purpose that for which it was logged in for. It's beautifully played. By
Yeah,
Syndicate,
absolutely,
believing in them.
absolutely. And it did look like the Volibear was getting caught out, and unfortunately, they lined up for the laser, the R of that Vel'Koz. So he just burned through those HP bars, chased down the Brom towards the end. It was a 2-for-1 in favor of Syndicate. And at the end of the day, they're happy campers about that. They don't end up picking up their Drake, and Eclipse are going to answer with all three grubs because I don't think, the Volibear is going to make it in time, and there's no way at all. They should have maybe been prioritized. Instead, Volibear has been roaming a lot in the bot side river, but never at a advantageous side of it. So he's not been able to take prior of how the positioning is going for him, and now he's just lost the grubs essentially for free.
Yeah, I mean, that is very true, but at the same time, none of the lane have the priority as we discussed. Nar is a lane bully. Oli is much stronger than Cho'Gath. If you see, Nar also has a lead of 20 CS over Cho'Gath already. Right? So if Valkos goes for that grubs, it was a suicide mission. So I think at
Hmm.
best, what they could do is track the dragon, I mean, grubs and trade it for dragon. But at the same time, right
Exactly.
now, Eclipse is doing a wonderful job keeping all the lanes in priority, denying Syndicate any kind of uh, objective control that they can have. So right now,
Yeah, and they're
still
doing a
Syndicate
very
is, I
good
mean,
job
Eclipse
about
is doing
clearing all
much
these
better.
wards.
Right,
Hmm.
very true.
Are in a
Syndicate,
top spot. They are up around 1.3k gold, so they are in a pretty good lead that way. And yeah, as you said, the Nar bullies quite a bit in the top side. Drake is still open for the take. It's been 10 minutes, no Drake going down. But honestly, like you said, I think the way that you have to punish it over there is, track the grubs are going down. You end up taking the Drake. At least trade the jungle directly, unless you have to fight for it later on instead.
very true. Let's say I think the game is still not lost, even with the lead. Syndicate is a team that we discussed is going to lose a bit early game, but scales beautifully. So they have to wait for that early game to pass on. Just trust in them, farm, and look for opportunities that objective fights because they have a lot of damage that they can bring out, especially on in those objective fights with their Valkyries.
Yeah, another key point I'm noticing this it is left side is Syndicate actually in these fights, and the blue side is Eclipse. Unfortunately, we have messed that up, so we're gonna apologize for that, but continue forward. Blue side is Syndicate for the people who are just joining in. Red side is Eclipse, and it does look like, as we talk, Syndicate in a pretty nice, comfortable aheadness with that 1k, the 1.4k in their pocket, so they are not a problem at all. Abdo keeping this pressure on Zishan. Zishan is not being allowed to breathe essentially in her own lane, especially after Alistar ended up burning Flash earlier, then ended up giving his life. Eclipse did manage to pick up the feats of Warfare. They have 3 grubs to name, need 2 more epic monsters, or first turret to secure the entire feats of Shek. But Alistar has been doing a good job of clearing all these wards, and we haven't seen Abdo roaming as much as the Big Cow has.
Okay, Diana is going 1 and 2, but the whole team is there for his backup. Is he able to going to secure those kills? No, they fail, but it's 1 for 1. Valkos just makes it out alive, securing that 1 kill. I think well played by Valkos. He could land his E and just escape, securing that 1 kill that he can. And Alyssa is here for the backup now. But they're able to deny all the XP. At the same time, Tristana is able to get some solo XP. Tristana is again an expert to melt down towers and is enjoying those free plates in the bottom. So I think in the
Yeah,
end the pressure
Ventress
is
got
not
a
a lot if
lot
you
of
see.
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I mean getting
honestly
that.
not that much of a difference, and it's going to be Syndicate as well picking up the next Drake, right? So they've picked up first 2 jungle objectives, no pressure whatsoever. They had picked up a trade in mid lane, but got a couple of plates down. Fortunately, had to trade it with Tristana getting her own. But at least he gets a good amount of gold in her pocket. But the Kaiser, very far accelerated forward, already 300, has pretty much 75% kill participation, is doing a fine job. And once this Kaiser gets accelerated, it could be a bit of tough for the side of Eclipse moving forward.
No, that's very true. I mean, Kaz is already looking scary, and again, a very beautiful champ that we have seen in the past by in lot of good hands carrying the games. Right? So a 3-0 Casa looks beautiful. Let's see how she is able to take this lead and if is able to secure the victory for its team.
Yeah, nice damage coming in from the Vel'Koz here onto the Diana. Diana has to keep her distance. She has dodged most of the Qs that Rise of Dark has been coming out, but he has been the main factor in most of these skirmishes, at least for his side. He had that beautiful Vel'Koz R earlier on near the Drake for initial type the side of Eclipse was trying to take the Drake away from the Volibear. So he is the man that you have to look out for later on in these team fights. He has, as you said, the poke lacking a lot in the side of Syndicate, but then Vel'Koz makes up for a lot of it on the side of Eclipse. So you have to try to lock this man down before he can deal out most of his abilities in these fights. Do we see something against this on both sides? I don't think they even want to think about trying to go for it. They're just trying to put the safe distance. Volibear is close by in case any kind of dive goes down. A lot of damage being pushed onto Tristana, but in the same time, the explosive charge was hit back onto the Kaiser. She has to respect that and move away from any further exchanges.
I mean, they know that Alistair is on the top. Shinzo is there to deny the XP. All looking for a dive here on the Tristana. Kaiser has the damage. Let's see if Syndicate is gonna execute the dive here or not. And I think that they decided not to. They just backed up because the whole team has come as a backup to save the ADC. Which is beautifully done. I mean, support. I mean, ADC finally getting some peel. Wonderful to watch.
Absolutely wonderful to watch, and I think Syndicate were just respecting that there were so many members of Eclipse missing right there on the map. So pretty much had an inkling or they had a pretty deep pink ward as well in the jungle of Eclipse, so they had to respect that. I don't think this cow can do anything except watch his turret getting shredded away, but he does go in on to the Kaiser. Kaiser has to use E to get some move speed away. Here comes the leap forward by the Tristana. The Braum ult comes out to save enough. Here comes Kaiser back with the Ronar with an added shield. There's no damage that Tristana can do to him. Azure tries to push the Kaiser back to his own turret and flash forward onto it, but no. Kaiser flashes away from turret range, does secure a double kill. The top side of the map, the Volibear is going on one-on-one against the Xinjiao, but no, Diana's like, no, this is not a fair fight. He's come for an exchange. Now he's getting turned on. He might get the Vel'Koz before he goes on. That's exactly what he does, but Volibear is not relenting on the chase. These are two separate fights going on over here. Kagura thinks about going back in, but the stun into the E from the Volibear, that's enough for him to secure his kind of 1v1 at the end of the day. Leda is going for trying to get the race, does smite it away, but now Volibear, you're in a bit of trouble, but no, the W from the Xinjiao misses. He could not slow down the Volibear, so Volibear gets out. So that's a lot of bloody exchanges happening in the span of maybe 30 seconds on the bot side and in the top side. That's going to pretty much result in Syndicate picking up this hero, because there's no way that Eclipse can challenge for it.
I mean, that was beautiful played, especially by Abdo there. Yeah, Abdo just pressed an exhaust on the Tristana, denying all the burst. I think that is why, I mean, when we were discussing about the Braum pick, it came so much in handy, denying all the damage from Tristana, helping Kai'Sa to secure the double pick. And there is so much action that is happening in this game, which is so hard to cope up. Just fights everywhere. I mean, this is kind of a game that I think our viewers will love to see. I mean, Madness, I love to see. And this is something that keeps it exciting to watch games like these.
Absolutely. This is exactly what the kind of games you want to go out for. A lot of pressure being put upon them by this, and a lot of fights going down. We're just not seeing, any point where it's being a bit lull in the game. They're always just going for the kill at this point. And yeah, turrets are picked up, the feats of strength acquired by the side of Syndicate. Mind you, they are the blue team, Syndicate being the blue side right now. Just a bit of change in your UI. But Abdo has been doing a fantastic job peeling for his ADC, especially in that 2v2 fight in the bot side, where it looked like Tristana was maybe going to get a slight upper hand, but a nice ultimate coming out from Abdo over there. Also, you have to be a bit careful and respect that they could end your life, but maybe a bit of trap setter. Abdo wants to walk forward to maybe get some more vision down, but they have all been revealed. You have to get out there if you're the Alistair. You're pretty much one shot away from using the gray screen. They're going to be picking up the blue buff instead. I don't think a challenge can occur whatsoever. The rest of the side of Eclipse can just watch as their blue buff has been taken away. Drake is up as well, so that has to be an important factor. Alistair had to go back to get a reset, so he has to make his way prompto towards this fight. Both top laners, also only the Cho'Gath in the top lane has his TP, so this could be an interesting development in this fight, but it doesn't look like the side of Eclipse actually want to challenge Syndicate for their secondary.
I mean, that's wise enough. I don't think so. I mean, the cow just got melted. Alistair's not as tanky as he looks. Okay, they're going on the Vel'Koz, but the team is there to back them up. Alistair is going to get melted if that gets a free ult. Braum is trying to stop it, tried to stop a lot of damage, but Vel'Koz was able to melt through the whole team, and I see the team falling down right now. Okay, Diana is back in the fight. Diana is taking revenge for its team, able to melt down Vel'Koz. Now they're going on the Alistair. I mean, Cho'Gath is in the fight. Cho'Gath is just going to eat up Diana, denying that Alistair kill. Very well played again. From the Eclipse side, I think there was a good comeback by securing that goal difference, which was becoming thick, to shorting it down.
Yeah, and Cho'Gath comes in, gets a huge chop off towards the end, gets a lot of gold in his pocket, but then unfortunately that means the Gnar will freely pick up this tier 1 on the top side. The goal is like slightly going, but let's just take a bit to look at that fight goes over. They jump into the Volibear that they thought they caught out. Deadeye has been left alone. He can't do anything at this point, and he's getting jumped out. Another beautiful Vel'Koz comes in, gets pretty much maximum damage you can get in a fight like that, and that leaves the rest of the members of Syndicate, just running for the hills. You can see that Kagura just wants to go back in, wants to get another kill. He does get it onto the Vel'Koz, but he's pretty much sacrificing a lot for it. The Tristana picks up a very crucial double kill for herself, gets a more additional gold in her pocket, and this is the way that slowly Eclipse can climb their way back against a team like Syndicate who's got a lead. Alistair, you're quite a bit alone, you have to get out, and that's exactly what it is. You have to respect that. Atakan now being started up by Syndicate. Rise of Duck wants to get some poke in before the initial fights to happen. Gnar is on the other side of the map, but he does have TP if he wants to come to this game. The Atakan's going down very low. I don't think any member of Eclipse can get by before it goes down. And as soon as they get the notification that Atakan is gone, as you said, a free Atakan, the rest members of Eclipse back off. There's nothing more to fight over. They have to take it a bit more slowly if they want any chance of getting back in this game.
I mean, Syndicate is just able to secure every objective, bits by bits, piece by piece. They already got the boots upgrade. They already have 2 dragons. They got 3 grubs. Got an Atakan. I mean, slowly they're just stealing the game away from Eclipse without them even realizing. I think Eclipse just needs to buck up now and needs to start fighting for these objectives. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for them to survive in long time.
Oh yeah,
We're
absolutely.
gonna
They
have
have to,
Baron in like
at
about 4
least
minutes.
challenge. Yeah, they have to
Yes.
challenge it. Yeah, that Baron is the fight that they have to go for it further on. They have to at least put on a show that they're just reaching the objectives too late. Lachonka, you're left alone over there. Instant flash, the respect being shown by the Cho'Gath. Now Volibear unfortunately is the one that's been isolated. He does R over to that side. Now it's a bit of an Uno reverse for the members of Syndicate, who are the ones who are trying to run away. The Xinjiang's going to be left alone. Nothing much can be done for him. So that's just going to be Kagura saying goodbye to his jungler, while the ADC, that's going to be Harambe McNugget, picks up a tier 2 in the mid lane. Free goal for him. That guy's a 6-1 and 0. And here, Lachonka, you don't have flash anymore, buddy, to save you at this point. And that's a nice initiate with the Gnar Mega Ultimate. Now over there in the bot side of the map, at least Tristana is getting some gold in her pocket, gets another kill, but you lose a tier 2 in the top side. So equally you could see people falling down mid laner for top laner, but it's going to be a tier 2 for essentially that tier 1 in the bot side.
I think Syndicate played that very beautifully, even though Jin Zhao just got picked out alone, roaming around the jungle. But ADC was able to take a free tier 2, then just directly ult top. They dive the Cho'Gath, kill the Cho'Gath, got another tier 2. That's a lot of gold in their pocket. I think that was beautifully played by Syndicate. Even though the kills right now is 10 each, there is a 3k gold lead on Syndicate's side.
Oh yeah,
Let's see,
absolutely. They have 3 grubs, 2 drakes, and Atakan. That's just so much gold being funneled there,
And
especially
Soul
the
Drake
amount of
coming up.
turrets that they've taken. And Soul, no, it's not Soul Drake.
No, I mean Soul Point, not Soul Drake.
Yes, Soul.
The
Yes,
third
yes. Soul
dragon.
Point Drake will
Soul
be
Point.
coming up. Yes, third dragon of the game is coming up. Very nicely put. And I would like to see maybe Eclipse at least put up a good fight for this, because they've pretty much given a lot of these objectives up, and they reached the fights a bit too late. They try to maybe pick up the scramblers at the end of the fights, but I would like to see them, get a bit ahead over here, maybe get some vision for themselves. Except instead, they're always on the side of just clearing vision in their own jungle, and they never get to that side to put wards down. The closest you see is Alistar putting that ward in the bush near the mid lane. That's the closest they have to vision on the side of Syndicate. On the meantime, Zuko faring nicely against Lechonka in the top side. He's up so much CS onto this big Cho'Gath. The Cho'Gath is not much of a problem right now. He also has a level differential on top of him. The Tristana, after a very shaky start with that Alistar getting picked off earlier on in the bot side, has recovered fairly well given her state of the game. But now you're facing against a Kai'Sa with 3 items completed and an upgraded tier 3 Berserker Greaves as well. Finally, now you can see Eclipse are walking into the dragon, but yet again, it's a bit too late. The Volibear jumps in, he steals the Drake at least away for his team, but he ends up giving up his life. On this side, you can see that the members of Eclipse are trying to run away. Tristana is in no man's land, flashes, but a bit too late. The W of the Xinjiao connected on the other side. A nice Mega Gnar ult coming out from Zuko. He hits 2 members on that side. That's an ace for the side of Syndicate, with them only losing Diana over there. But fortunately, at least for Eclipse, they did manage to steal away the Drake, delaying Soul Point.
And it was very beautifully played by Syndicate, to be very honest. They waited for it. Even if they lost the dragon, they won the war. Right? They were able to kill every member of Eclipse. They were able to take those turrets. They'll be able to take this inhibitor, which is going to give them a lot of advantage to put that Baron pressure now. Right? If they're able to secure the Baron, I think it's game over. Let's see what Eclipse is going to do from here to come back. But the game looks heavily on Syndicate's end at this moment, very particularly.
Yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
I have a doubt. Yeah, Madness. I want to discuss this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Cho'Gath making Heartsteel now? How is he gonna get those stacks? I am not very sure why
I.
Heartsteel as your second item when your second turret is already down. I think that is something
Mhm.
new that I've seen, and I'm not very sure what is in the mind of Cho'Gath while making that. But I think we can see the mental pressure coming on Eclipse right now.
Mhm.
Syndicate dominating even mentally to this thing. They have to keep their mental, they have to be strong, and they have to strategize somehow what they're going to do to come out of this.
And
Or is
he's doing
cheeky.
the movement speed build on the Cho'Gath, which has been nerfed quite significantly. Most people I
Quite
don't see
significant.
making this kind of build on this Cho'Gath anymore. So a bit of misplay coming from Lechonka. Zuko was looking like he was getting caught, but nice respect coming out from him, like observing where he is on the map. He is alone, but this allows Baron to be started because, mind you, the jungler is on the bot side of the map for the side of Eclipse, and yet again, another free objective going over to the side of Syndicate. Only Alistar is here. But what are you gonna do as Alistar? He's come to check in, but he's maybe checking into his own death at this point. A nice gap coming in. Here comes the Kaiser ult from that side. Volibear is trying to go in. I don't know, essentially know why they want to
I
fight
think
this
they gave
anymore.
up.
Why is the Volibear going back in? I think it's a lot of mental boom. There comes the nice Vel'Koz R, but Zuko stops that in his tracks. The amount of damage that he's dealing out. A triple kill coming in for Harambe Avenger. And now they are slowly but surely
That is.
walking this all the way in to game 2.
I think Syndicate just saw Volibear in the bottom with Valkos and decided to just do the Baron and end the game. I think that was very smartly picked and done. I'm not very
Absolutely.
sure what Volibear was doing down when he knew the Baron was up, but Syndicate knew what to do with that, and with that they ended the game. Very well played by Syndicate. They had they had that number advantage, they had that skill advantage in the end, in the start, and they made the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely made the most of it, and just superbly played for them in terms of macro towards the end, as as well as doing better jobs on the fights. Essentially, from that level 1, they seem like they were the ones setting the pace of the entire matchup with that invade with the Braum in. You get the flash out of the Alistar. You take pretty much every single objective without a fight, except this last Drake that was being taken by them, where Volibear finally stood his ground, came in for the steal. But unfortunately, that just meant the rest of his team also ends up dying, and I think that's a trade that Syndicate was definitely being willing to make. The Cho'Gath never got to a point where he was strong enough. The Tristana was slowly making her way back to the match, but there's no peel for her. When there's no peel, there's nothing. And as you were saying, I think it was a bit of a mental boom towards the end
Yeah,
where
it was a lot of mental
they
loss, I think.
went the Alistar gets caught out, right? You leave him, he's dead, it's fine. But here comes the Volibear. I don't know why you're also walking into this fight. Makes absolutely no sense from the side of Eclipse. And I think they've already, mentally had already gone on towards game 2, given the way that this entire game 1 has gone. And I think hopefully they, recover enough mental that they'll be strong enough for game 2.
No, I mean there was a lot of dominance that was shown by Syndicate in this game, and they shown that Eclipse has to come out with some better strategies, some better draft, and synergize a little bit more if they're gonna, give them a challenge. Very well played by
Mhm.
Syndicate, I think. And let's see what Eclipse is gonna come up for the second game.
Yeah, I think Eclipse have to go a bit back to the drawing board, think a bit more about how the picks want to go. If you want to play, you know, a side that will be scaling towards that end where you have to be thinking on the more later games, so you have to play according to that. And just not playing according to that does not just mean, always just giving up these objectives. You have to fight a little bit here and then, maybe try to get some ganks in over on the side where you think again. And you can't, as a jungler, towards the end of the game, be on the bottom side of the map where it's just a free baron for
That's about
Syndicate,
it.
and a good call coming after them. Nothing, you can't take any way away from the Syndicate played perfectly, even though Eclipse made a couple of mistakes that led up to this entire thing. But at least the scorecards here, guys, this is how the game looked on paper. It was 19 kills to 12. Because we were talking about the entire match, the kill difference wasn't that much, but the goal difference was there. 11k in the favor of Syndicate, 9 towers to 1. That just shows you the dominance and the areas they had on the map. 2 drakes to 1 drake. The drakes didn't even matter towards the end. We're not even getting close to Soul the way that Eclipse was playing this out. And Atakan and all 3 grubs, as well as the Rift Herald as well, going to Syndicate.
No, I mean, very well put, Manners. I think Eclipse especially cannot make the macro mistakes that they were making at level 2. They got to respect to go back. They have to account for when Diana ult or the mid ult is coming. Okay, with this we have our MVP Kaisa. I think that was a no-brainer. I think Kaisa did a very
Mm.
wonderful job when it comes to the 11, 1, and 5. Right, the board difference was massive and very well played by Kaisa this first game.
Yeah,
As I was
absolutely.
telling
That
you, I mean,
2v2, that 2v2 in the bot side earlier on, that just set the pace
that gave
about
the
how
game.
Kaiser was going to perform.
Right. That gave
Hmm.
away the game. Basically, when Tristana just tried to all in a 3-1 Kaisa, just got exhausted and got deleted again. And with that, Kaisa being that strong was able to snowball for the team.
Yeah, and
Right?
yeah, she
So,
just gets so strong at that point that you can't do anything. She was 3 items when Tristana barely has 2. It just makes a whole lot of difference, especially a 3 item Kaiser. That's where she gets especially scary. And with the team, also, it's just not her. MVP could be provided to a lot of the players in that team, especially they were just dominating all around. You could see, Kagura in the mid lane getting his solo kill as well onto the Vel'Koz earlier. The Vel'Koz, even though it was on the back foot for so much of the game, was somewhat of defining for at least Eclipse in these team fights, but unfortunately did not get enough peel, did not get enough time bought for him, and unfortunately that's going to be Syndicate taking game 1 in this best of 3 series. But guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 2 after this very short break.
Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like on grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in.
Guys, we are back. League of Legends, Legends Ascent South Asia Qualifier 3, penultimate day, semi-final 2, already one game under the belt of the side of Syndicate. Pretty dominating game from their side against Eclipse. Eclipse pretty much seemed on the back foot since maybe the early levels, and they just essentially just never recovered. They had maybe one good fight after that. It just went completely Syndicate's way. So heading into game two, it's Syndicate 1-0 in the lead. And any thoughts on that last game, Singla?
I think the game was wonderful, especially when we saw the kills. Both the teams did well, but especially macros. This game, Eclipse has to back up its macros, cannot make those small mistakes, and I think they're there. I'm very excited about this game, and I still see a lot of hopes on Eclipse side, hoping for a very exciting game.
Yeah, with that being said, guys, we're going to take a little sneak peek again, yet here at the draft that will be coming up against these two teams. Game two. Remind you guys, this is complete fearless. Any champions you saw in game one will not be allowed to be repeated in game two. We're going to dive a bit more deeper inside, the champion pools of these players and see what kind of picks want to come out. For Eclipse, their, at least game plan did look a bit solid draft wise in game one, but game two, game towards the end of game one just completely collapsed. They just could not cope up with the amount of dominance Syndicate was prevailing with. Hopefully this time we do get to see Eclipse, bounce back at a stronger note and take us all the way to that ultimate game three. But here it is. Here is the draft of game two. It has started out. It's going to be Eclipse this time on the blue side. It is their choice of picking, given that Syndicate won toss in the first game. Let's see what kind of bans coming out. And instantly the Drenington no longer gets to see the Rift this game.
I don't think so. Eclipse wants to play against Crown's Renekton. We have seen how strong it is in the past, and I think that's a very safe and a good ban to use it. At the same time, let's see. I think Rise of Dark will be happy that Diana is just banned by the draft itself. That will also allow him to play a lot more mages at a safe level. So again, that works the best for Rise of Dark, and it was scary in the hands of Buzz of Light. So let's see what is that first pick that Eclipse take away. Are they gonna pick Kaisa because they can if it does not get banned, or what is that they're gonna pick in the first pick?
They can't pick the Kaiser. It's already done through the first draft. That's no longer in the question. But talking about the bans, at least over here, Eclipse and Syndicate pretty much mirrored exactly what they did in game one in terms of bans. Now Eclipse at least have that crucial first pick in their belt. Let's see what they want to go for. Fortunately, the Kaiser Tristana are not options right now, and otherwise they want to go into that hyper carry, that late game Jinx in the hands of their ADC, and let's hope that he fares better than he did on Tristana. Unfortunately, the man didn't get much of a good start, and it just progressed further worse and worse going on. Now that J4 that people love to see, and the heads of Dead Eyes, it's going to be very deadly.
I'm very excited. He did so well on the Shinza. What we talked about, that early pressure was there, and J4 is just going to be as beautiful or even more beautiful. So I'm very excited to see what J4 will look in the hands of Deadeye. And we see Twitch. Twitch is the perfect counter for Jinx. I think Jinx's first pick was a very wise pick. At the same time, we see Syndicate picking up the counter for Jinx, and let's see how the Twitch can perform today. It's a Jinx
Yeah,
Lulu.
hopefully. Oh, the Jinx Lulu. That's the
Lulu?
sacred combo in the bot side. Yeah, and that's exactly what gets locked in. It was, however, it was teased a bit, but this is, essentially getting back to the basics in the terms of drafting. In the bot side, you lock in the Jinx, you lock in the Lulu. Against the Twitch, I really want to see what Harambe does on the Twitch, because I've seen him play it a couple of times, and he's pretty good on this champion. Does keep his spacing well, but as long as you don't let the Jinx reach that stage of the game, it does seem okay. But this is what we were talking about also. The Mundo left open blind pick for the side of Eclipse. It's going to be push all the way for the top lane of Eclipse.
Lulu was just not a good pick. It was a good denial also because, Twitch Lulu is also a very good combo. So I think Lulu was a very smart pick here, Lulu can peel the hyper carry Jinx very well, at the same time denying that against Twitch because Twitch is squishy at the same time. So, and we see a Gwen pick happening in the top, which is again a hyper scanning, very good pick against the tanks. So I think it's a beautiful pick, and in the hand of Crown, it's just gonna be scary. I think it's a very
Mm.
good pick again into the blind pink of Mundo. What do you think
Yeah,
is gonna come in support
absolutely.
now with Twitch? I cannot think. Yeah, what is
Mm.
that will be in the eyes of Syndicate to lock in with Twitch? What goes well?
Milio's not a bad option, right? Milio Twitch as well. Any enchanter on the bot side that you scale up on that side. It's honestly up to what Abdo wants to go for. I heard some inklings before that he might want to try out the Elise support, so hopefully we don't get to see that at least with the Twitch. But it still seems good. The Gwen pickup is very good from the side of Crown against the Mundo. The Udyr, the Gwen does phenomenally against, the now a bit of the push champion. And exactly what we're talking about, the Milio gets banned from the side of Eclipse. So now you can't pair the Twitch with that anyway.
But I think this it's still going to be an enchanter that they will want to go with, or an aggressive support as always also an option. But into an Lulu, let's see. I mean, I'll be very excited if Abdul decides to just lock in Nautilus or something here, and it's a Renata. I think Renata is again a very good pick. Amazing ult. If you can get Jinx into the ult, the Jinx literally just
Mm-hmm.
kills its own team. So I think Renata and with
Mm-hmm.
Twitch, Renata giving that W, allowing Twitch to play much more aggressively is also good. So Renata is a wonderful pick in the hand of Abdo. I'm very excited to see what he can do with it. But what I think, okay, that's a Lysandra pick. But with the Lysandra pick, they have to play an aggressive jungler here, or Eclipse will lack damage. So what is that they are going to play? Wait, is it a Mundo
Oh,
jungle?
wait, what? I
I think
think
it's a
that's
Mundo
the kind of
jungle.
ink. Yeah, that's
No,
exactly the kind
Mundo
of
jungle is
inklings
something that
that
we have
Eclipse are
seen in the
going.
past.
My guys, you cannot
And
play the Volibear so that they're just trolling with us. And no, it does seem like it's the Mundo jungle. The Asol, Aurelian Soul gets locked in at the end for the side of Eclipse, so they're rolling back the pass with the Mundo jungle. It's not
I
the
am
most
a bit
effective
confused.
junglers right now. Yeah, I'm on the same boat you are, Singla.
I'm
This
a
is
bit
a
confused
bit of an interesting draft, to say the least, from the side of Eclipse over
for
here.
sure.
And I think Syndicate want to round it off with that Hue pickup at the end.
I think Eclipse is just gonna play Asol top, Mundo jungle, and Lysandra mid. At the same time, I think they've just gone hyperscaling into hyperscaling, not fighting much with the Gwen. Just gonna scale for the late game. At the same time, Mundo is just gonna. I think Eclipse has decided not to take that early fights, since early fight is where we
Mhm.
saw Syndicate shine. They have gone for a hyperscaling draft, which is smart in its own way. Actually, I respect what they have drafted that there for themselves, and and it can work out. But I think this game has to go beyond 25 minutes for
Mhm.
Eclipse to become a very strong team. If Syndicate is able to dominate them early, I mean, with having a good late game team by themselves, right? But still, with J4 being there in the pocket, if J4 is able to annoy Mundo enough, able to deny that CS, that farm, that jungle farm, then it can be a good strength for them. So I think on the drafting end, it's beautifully picked by both the teams. And I'm excited with what Eclipse have cooked for us and how well they're able to come through it.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right? It's about how well these guys are going to actually play that side of Eclipse. You actually, as you said, go past the 25th to the 30th minute to get to a point where you're so strong with Aurelion Sol and Jinx in these team fights, and Mundo being that huge meat shield in front. But you have to play according to that. That's exactly what they did not do in the last game. They just made a lot of mistakes macro wise, especially earlier on, and that they had to pay. They had to reap what they sowed at the end of the day. And Syndicate did come out on top, as you said, hyperscaling on both sides. But that Jarvan earlier on will be a huge problem for this side of Eclipse. Last time we saw Deadeyes on the Xinjiao get that first blood for his Kaizen, the bot side gank, when he went there against that flashless Alistar. So the other kind of things that Eclipse have to look out for, given that they know that Deadeye is aggressive and he's playing a very aggressive jungler in his hands. So these are the things Eclipse have to play according to. They have to play according to how they have drafted, and if they do, they really do have a chance of taking us all the way to a game 3.
I mean, yeah, very well said. I mean, Madness, I think this time they know what they've drafted for. They gotta respect them and they gotta play on. If Eclipse can respect the early game, their scaling is scary. I think it's gonna make the game so much interesting with Asoul and Jinx. Once they finish that 3 item mark, if they can farm it, I think they have the game. The game is just gonna go on autopilot. But at the same time, if they do not, if they make the same macro mistakes as the last game, and we saw Syndicate punishing every bit of it, I don't know where the game is gonna go then, right? So this time Eclipse
Hmm.
has to be on top of their behavior, cannot give those macro gaps, and the game is entirely in Eclipse pocket. It's a very strong draft
Yeah,
that I see from my eyes.
yeah, absolutely. It's a very interesting draft, and it's a very powerful draft towards the ending parts of the game, the late game, as we were talking about. They can't make. I think this is where them coming as 5 individuals together as a team is where sometimes the chemistry is maybe lacking. Maybe as an individual level they play good, but sometimes team wise or chemistry wise, based on the calling, maybe it gets a bit muddled up in their comms that come out between them. And this is something that they definitely have to work on, and hopefully we do get to that late game and Eclipse do get to prove themselves and prove why they have made it so far in this competition, and hopefully take us to that crucial game 3. But I don't think Syndicate are going to give up easy competition for them.
No, I mean, very exciting game. I'm very excited to see. I hope we get a game 3 tonight. I don't want Eclipse to go down that easy. Eclipse, I think, went back to the desk, made the draft on the paper, successfully put it on the screen. I hope in the game they're able to perform what they planned for. Because I think if the strategy works well for them, we are 100% going into a game 3.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Yet again, another reminder for you guys. A Discord event is live. Registrations are live till the 12th of this month. Please don't miss out on it. It's called Rift Rivals Draft Mode. Essentially what it is, we had a tournament like this before, but that was ARAM, where we did an auction system with 8 captains and teams like that. This time it's going to be the same thing, but just not on Howling Abyss. It's going to be on Summoner's Rift, where most people like to see more action like that. And a lot of the feedback from the community that people really see a mode like this or an event like this, and we're giving you guys what you want. So please don't register as fast as you can. Don't know if this, but if they are, you definitely don't want to miss out on them, please. And whoever's up winning, free skins and stuff, bragging. So it's essentially a fun time with your friends, and you can just enjoy the game that we love so much.
Honestly, Madness, this is my favorite mode. I think from last 8 years that I've been playing, I have loved this mode the most, right? And I think that we have seen the most registration when it comes to this particular mode, right? And everyone gets to take a part and gets to play with each other. So it's very exciting, and I hope to see all of our players doing it.
Absolutely, guys. Unfortunately, we will take a very short break, but please don't go anywhere. Action is just around the corner to get to see which one of these two teams makes it to the final.
I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. And I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink for the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, on grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sink for the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, just hug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. Did it, I did it, I did it.
Guys, we are back after that very short break and after seeing a very interesting draft, especially from the side of Eclipse. Big things, big hopes from a team like that, especially with that last pick, Aurelion Soul top side. So hopefully we get to see a bit more of a spicy game. It was pretty spicy early on in game one, fights breaking out left, right, and center, no slow playing going on. But side of Eclipse have to play it a bit on the slower pace of side if they really want to bring out the full potential of their comp in game two.
I mean, yeah, very. Let's see if they're able to do what they have promised us. ASOL needs to just collect the dust, need to hold on for 20-25 minutes, no fights, right? We see a Mundo who's just gonna farm, cannot gank much. Again, let's see how much he can secure when it comes to jungle. If they are able to pass that 25 minutes, they become a true team. They become Avengers. Let's see how strong if they can be able to evolve their team, if they're able to evolve and get fast before the 25 minutes, without losing much. Because
Mm-hmm.
objectives or let be, a team fight, they have to ignore. They have to play with a lot of patience, a lot of belief in each other if they want to get through this. So I'm very excited about
And
this game.
yeah, and it's especially a bit of a tougher job when you have just, started playing with each other just from the beginning of the tournament. So these kind of factors do play, behind in people's minds, especially after a slight mental boom in the last game towards the end part. So hopefully, no infighting going on. Hopefully, they're all on the same page, and hopefully they can bring out, the complete true use of a comp like they have drafted. It is a bit on the unusual side, but it definitely has a lot of firepower towards the end part of the game, the later parts where the Radiant's soul has scaled up, the Jinx is pretty much just killing everybody. But that's where the Renata Glass also comes into huge importance from the side of Abdo later on. Basically, the friendly fire button that he'll press if his R does connect on a majority of the players of Eclipse can change a lot about how the fights break down. But that's all in paper. We have to see what these people will do to each other on the Rift and how well they can actually play out the drafts, the comps that they have drafted.
No, very true. I mean, it would really matter if Renata can hit that ult to Jinx. Because when it comes to DPS, is the only person who have the DPS. if if
Hmm.
Jinx and Twitch both start shooting Eclipse, then I don't know where they're gonna run. Right? If Renata is able to hit that ult with Twitch and Jinx both hitting that team, I think there is no running from them and the game can end. So I think Apto is also gonna play a very key role when it comes to this game.
Hmm.
The drop both the ends are very exciting. Gwen is gonna melt the Mundo even in the late game if she gets the scale, right? They have a Twitch, they have a J4 to get, to create that early pressure to secure the dragons as soon as they can. And it will also really depend what kind of a soul we get. So what I mean, man is coming to you. Which is that soul that you will want to see in this game? Which is your favorite dragon soul
Uh,
that you want?
s- like the soul that I prefer most of the time would be the cloud soul in the terms of the amount of movement speed it does provide for you. That way you can go around, especially the team fights, how they're breaking down. Certain times it's getting isolated in ways that you would not like to happen, but everyone has their own preference according to the comp. The Mundo would definitely like an Ocean or a Chemtech soul for himself to just sustain in those later on fights. It does a lot for him. Infernal always a favorite. The Hextech is one of my personal favorites, not just because of the soul, because of the map and how it becomes after that point, and the kind of fights that can break down based on the how they use this hex gates. So everything has its own ebb and flow depending on how you want to go for it. But yeah, Abdo definitely going to play a huge factor. Mundo gets punished for picking it blind. The Gwen gets picked up over there. So yes, there was a lot going on in the draft, and it basically ended up, I think even the opponent team didn't think maybe it's going to be a Mundo jungle. Even we were especially surprised by it, only realizing it when they picked up that Aurelion soul for themselves. So let's just see how well this Mundo does, because he's going to definitely struggle earlier on, and the J4 is pretty much going to have a gala of picks of where he wants to go and which lanes he wants to accelerate, because he is going to be very aggressive and definitely maybe looks a bit towards the bot side to prevent the Jinx from getting to a stage where everybody has to be afraid of her.
I think with this, we'll go into a very short break and we'll be right back with you all.
I'm going in, got me like on grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Stand at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Right on the way 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 to the top. I'm going in. I'm like, I'm going to win. Flip these. stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition. I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition. I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot and sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Stand at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing at attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all I got. I'm going to the top. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. Came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, Lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition. I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.
Guys, we are back. Sorry for that delay, but we will be jumping very shortly back into the action just in a moment's time. I think we've exhausted all options talking about that draft and everything going on. So I just want to remind you yet again, for people who don't know, Rift Rivals is active on Discord. Please register before you run out of time or run out of slots for the registration. Don't know if it's limited or not. That will be decided later, hopefully. But after that short thing about that, we jump right in to game 2 of semi-final 2 in quarter final 3. This is between Syndicate and Eclipse. Eclipse had choice of which side they wanted to pick. They chose blue. They first picked the Jinx for themselves, and very interestingly, last picked the Aurelion Soul. So I think we have a very interesting game right ahead of us over here, Singla, and I think we're gonna expect a lot of action, at least from the side of Syndicate, because Eclipse really just want to buy the time until they get to a strong point.
No, very fair put, yeah, Manas. I think in this game you're not gonna get that level one skirmish that you look for. I think this is gonna be a slow-paced game. We all have to wait and watch how people are gonna. Because I think both teams are majorly gonna play for scaling. Other than our eyes are gonna be on dead eyes. I want to see how he's gonna use his early advantage as a J4. What is that? Which is that lane that he's gonna camp to put the pressure? Whom is he gonna give that lead to? And how he's going to make the most of his pick. I think let's see how this game goes. And with this, we start.
Yeah, we are gonna head right into it. Interesting, we do have a Mundo jungle. Let's see how well the jungle of Eclipse can play out this champion over there. The A-Soul, that's the pick that bamboozled a lot of us during the draft, because until then, we honestly expected the Mundo going topside. But A-Soul has that range on him. He's pretty much just gonna be looking to farm. And as well as, you know, Gwen is also going to be looking, and she's going to have an added pressure on her, going to push back. On the bot side, level 2 probably going to get hit by Syndicate first on over here. They're going to probably Abdo's that way moving forward. Nice shield comes in from the Lulu, prevents pretty much, it negates all the damage that Britel run. Other than that, pretty slow. Abdo is walking very forward. He has the level 2. Twitch goes into stealth mode, gets that added attack speed, and they're going to put a lot of chunk damage onto this Jinx, and the Lulu has to pop the heal while the Jinx even burns his her barrier. So 2 sums already down, and Syndicate keeping their prowess of early sums being burnt from the other team in complete check.
I think Syndicate did not learn from their mistakes from the first game. They made the exact same mistake again of not respecting level 2 advantage in the bottom. It's one of the most crucial advantages that bottom has. They had to back up, but in exchange they were punished by burning barrier for Jinx and heal for Lulu. So I mean, they cannot make the same mistakes if they are looking to win the game. The Twitch was the MVP for the last game, and this time Jinx has to back up for its team and shine and take this game ahead for them.
It definitely was their star player last game. Played a fantastic game on that Kaiser as the Kaiser, right? Went 11-1, only died
Yeah.
once in that, and that was after a bloody exchange between them. And even in the mid lane, Kagura yet again showing his dominance on the other mid laner. He did get a solo kill as the Diana, but look who's close by. It's the man with the cleaver, and Kagura respectfully hugs the side where his own jungler is, and pretty much the tensions have de-escalated. Bot side, Jinx has to keep her distance. The shields are coming from Lulu, but it's probably not enough. They're not doing a fantastic job, and the pair over there. Deadeye is coming top side, but I think a bit too late. The Asol's pretty much away. The ward was there to note about. And the bot side, Mundo comes, throws a cleaver in the face of the Twitch and walks away. So jungle presence being shown in both lanes, top and bot, but nothing essentially coming off it. At least you stop the Mundo from his back over there, delay his tempo slightly. And these are the kind of things that slowly over time build up in your favor.
No, I mean, as a Mundo, there's not a lot of skill pressure they can make, even in the jungle, because you do not have
Yeah.
any CC as such, other than the Q, right? So I think it's going to be a very power farming jungle where he has to track where the J4 is going and deny as much camp as he can. Like, okay, both the jungles are just exchanging some good blows, and uh, uh, mid is still struggling a bit. Hui is doing a great job in poking Lysandra so much. Okay, Lysandra used the E to go in. Will he be able to walk
Yep.
out peacefully? I think he walked out, but
That
just with a lot more pressure. I mean, a lot more damage taken and HP loss.
Yeah, but even in the bot side, after all those exchanges early on, it's still pretty even in terms of CS as well. Harambe has been more focused on the poke instead of, picking up or trying to deny on that side. Lissandra, as you said, very interesting W. Again, she goes back in, but Kagura has hit level 6, forces the flash out of the Lissandra. She's barely alive. Can you get a snipe from downtown if he guesses the location correctly? And that's exactly why you can see the Lissandra going so far behind before she channels her recoil. And the wave is in a great state for the Hui right now.
I mean, Rise of Dark again also made the same mistake in last game, not noticing that Hui is already level 6 and Lysandra does not have her ult, still went in with an E for her entire, doing her entire combo, but not able to kill. I mean, that was a very risky move. Eclipse got to learn from the mistakes, cannot make the same mistakes again and again, because in long term it can be hard for them to survive. But luckily they did not lose any blood till now, and the first blood is still out for grab, and they're able to scale this time pretty much better. If you see, I mean, what you say, madness, yeah. When it comes to the CS, this time it's much more even than the last game.
Oh
So
yeah,
let's see
absolutely.
what they can do.
Absolutely. Deadeye is walking around where Mundo channels his goals. He's going in. The flag and drag gets the Jarvan away to safety. Now Crown has to run away, but I don't think they can catch him that well. But here comes the ultimate from the Reliant Soul from the heavens, instantly answered by Zuko with his flash to get away to safety. So now, finally, Eclipse burning some of the summoners of Syndicate. Talking about what happened in the mid lane, yeah, Lissandra did not respect the level 6 getting hit, by the way, and unfortunately has to burn her flash, repent for her sins in that manner, and Hue gets a nice push in over here while Lissandra had gone for that roam that resulted in Zuko burning the flash to get away.
There's another fight. There's still so many exchanges that are happening in the bottom. Not able to secure the first blood. But do you think the first blood is coming in here?
No, I think the
No,
shield of the
and
Lulu
Lulu
just
is
about
going
saves
to.
her. Yeah, the timing is just about now. The shield prevents her to die to the ticks of the poison, but that looked very precarious for the side of Eclipse. Yet again, just not respecting the spacing that they're trying to take, and that causes the Lulu to burn her heal yet again, and now she's also flashless. Can make an easy gank later on, and this gives them that added pressure onto the Drake, and that's exactly what the side of Syndicate will be going for. 20 seconds ahead of when Grubs spawn. Look at the damage that Jinx is taking, just sitting pretty much underneath her turret at that point.
I mean, bottom is putting a lot of pressure. So I think getting Dragon here is a very smart call. Because the Jinx and Lulu are not able to move out of the turret itself. But at the same time, I think Jinx is still doing a decent job keeping up on the CS, even after all the pressure that Twitch and Renata are able to put it on them. Still, this game, if again, as we said when the game started, they're able to survive till 20 minutes, they'll become a monster of champions. The entire comp will depend on that. And we are already in 8 minutes 30 seconds of this game, and there is no blood loss.
Yeah, and that's a complete, 180 of what happened in game one. These teams are playing it patiently, especially for the side of Eclipse. They did not respect, but they only lost summoners. As you said, not blood. No blood has been spilled yet on the Rift. Mundo goes back, picks up a giant health belt and a ruby crystal. But more importantly, the Twitch is going to outdamage the Jinx right now, given that Jinx opted to go Berserker Greaves first instead of a BF sword that the Twitch got on his first back. Both have a slingshot in the inventory, but this is where it's going to get juicy. This is the Grubs fight that will decide a lot. Abdo, he's walking a bit too close. He's not level 6. There's not many places he can go. He does flash out. Here comes the Flag and Drag. Doesn't catch any victims. The Cataclysm is available. Aurelian Soul is melting these people inside that. Here comes the bailout. It's just enough. It saves the life of Syndicate members. And finally, blood has been drawn and the gold gets pocketed by the sneaky rat that is Harambe. He manages to pick up a double kill. So timers completely noticed by the side of Syndicate. Jinx, on the other hand, is just still farming bot side, while Syndicate take a bit of a commanding lead already into this game when we just thought that the game was going slow.
No, I mean, that was well played by Syndicate. I mean, the entire team moved for Grubbies. There was 5-man versus 2-man. Oh, okay, we have an instant replay of same fight. I think there was... Oh yeah, we see Abdo walking in, going deep without any vision, being punished. But at the same time, what he said, Madness, the BF sword that was picked by Twitch came in clutch. It gave him the damage to kill the Mundo, to get a kill on the Iran Soul, and gives him the lead. So I think now the pressure in the bot lane is going to be just so much more. The rocket was denied by Hue in the mid. Jinx missed it, was not able to pick any kill, was not able to pick so much of a terrain. So now Twitch is in a great lead, about to finish its first item. Let's see if they're able to snowball with this damage and finally able to kill Jinx in the bottom and just take the game away.
And that's exactly what the Twitch is going for over here. Just the amount of damage he's going to dish out. He does pop the R, doesn't get the hits that he did want out, but even after Twitch roams so much, he is barely behind on CS right now. Especially depends on how the wave is picked up by the Jinx, but honestly she's going to get majority of that wave, and you can see she just walks forward, prevents more of the minions coming into turret range, hopefully gets most of this. And as you'll see, even after that she's only 3 CS up on the Twitch, and he has had a fantastic job, got 2 kills, gold worth in his pocket, as you see the base. But here Mundo channels his ghost, the fear comes in from the wave, prevents the Lissandra from walking forward. He finally has to burn his flash from the side, but it's going to be Rise of Duck who ends up going down with what seemed like 2-for-1 in his favor, but it's going to be the Hue who ends up picking a kill. Rise of Duck did have a flash. He could have flashed out of the snipe that essentially came from the Hue, but was a bit greedy with his summoners, and Kagura gets another kill in his pocket.
I mean, Buzz Lightning here did a Buzz Lightning play. He was able to play 1v2 where Eclipse just got too greedy, too far, wanted to press that R, Lissandra R on Hue, but failed, and Hue punished it beautifully. And at this moment, with 30 CS lead plus a kill, Hue looks like a monster against the Lissandra. He's also 2 levels above Lissandra already. I think now Rise of Duck is going to struggle very hard in the lane. Let's see how he's able to come out in this lane now.
Oh no, Rise of Duck, you're in the wrong spot at the wrong time. She did end up burning the flash as well, but that's after the Cataclysm registered in the game. So she's now lost the flash. She's losing a huge wave in mid and is so far behind. And look at this, Deadice is not done. Another R by Harambe Adventure. The flash comes in from the Jinx, but now she's hitting her own Lulu due to the Renata R. Will this final shot get the shutdown? It does get the shutdown, but it's Lulu had the final hit onto the Jarvan. So it's a 1-for-1, but it's your Jinx who goes down and your Lulu who gets the shutdown goal. And it's looking a bit disastrous for the side of Eclipse. And what we thought was a pretty even start to the game has quickly turned into the tides of favor for the side of Syndicate.
Yeah, I mean, they got what they came for. They got the Jinx. They were able to kill the Jinx. Twitch is so ahead. He's looking for every opportunity that he gets R, just turns it on and mounts the Jinx out of the game. And he's able to do it. He's just able to walk up, press R, kill her. They were able to deny her the XP, about 2 waves worth of XP and gold, able to secure that gold. There was a little bit misplay on the jungle where he burned his flash, was not able to get out in time, but I don't think so. The impact is going to be much big there. I mean, Syndicate is just going to get away with these silly mistakes.
Oh no,
If
Lulu. Lulu,
Eclipse,
you're in a bit of a wrong time, wrong place. But they didn't even choose to go on to it. They could have pretty much got a free kill on the Lulu at the point, but prioritize the
their
red
eyes
buff
were on the
instead. They want to pick that. He is going to go for it. Now look at this. Lulu doesn't have flash. She doesn't have the movement speed to get out. One more E, one more tick, and that's it. That's the kill. That's the third kill for Harambe Avenger. He's on a killing spree. He's continuing his streak from last game. This is going to be the Drake also going to the side of Syndicate. With this, they'll have 3 epic monsters. They had the feats of warfare, and this will be the entire feats of strength going over to the side of Syndicate. And Lulu, wrong place at the wrong time, completely punished for it.
I mean, we told Eclipse, we said it out loud, they did not make mistakes. They did a very well job for the first 11-12 minutes where they played the game slow, they waited to scale up, one wrong grub fight, and they started losing, and we can already see the effect. Right? Twitch is already on the rise, Twitch has already got his first item, he's already able to bully and snowball his team so well. Also secures the first tower for the team, and the game just looks, slipping out of Eclipse's hands.
Yeah,
I
absolutely
think
looks
even
like that.
rotate here
Trish already
for
completed the unit. Yeah, he completed his unitals already. He's getting so many critical charts as well, building it up. J4 instantly calculates onto the Mundo. Here comes Hue war walking forward. Ultimate from the Hue lands onto the Mundo. This is pretty much a dead man with a cleaver, and that's exactly what it had. Dr. Mundo, no more at least for the next 22 seconds on this map, and that pretty much signals maybe a herald going in favor of Syndicate.
Yeah, I mean, I think Syndicate is again start losing its mental, making those wrong mistakes, being wrong place at the wrong time. J4 looks at Mundo, he sees him alone, directly prices R, knows that Hue has the damage, knows Hue is gonna walk up and help him secure the kill. And this is not just a kill, it's also a free objective for the team. Right? They get the herald, they're already snowballing, they're gonna try and end the
Oh my
and
god.
Twitch is just a walking monster. He walks up top, kills Oransol like he means nothing. I think that
Exactly.
is the kind of snowballing that we were looking for. They already got the bottom tower, they had to be mid or top. Acewell had to predict that, but Twitch just walked up, killed the dragon, and is just becoming more of a monster time by time.
Yeah, man, the man is snowballing out of control right now. The Asol tried to get out, but it was a bit too late. Even had his own flash after the cheat already. The Twitch already used the expunge. Maybe could have got out, but was choosing to maybe signal the Twitch underneath the turret with his ultimate. Twitch matched that by his own flash, got out of that tricky situation that he was in. Gets the kill. Already a 450 gold bounty on his head. This is 300 gold bounty on the Hue. Syndicate already looked to be running away with it. So it's a 5k goal lead at 16 minutes. 2 Drakes in the pocket, 3 Grubs for them, the Rift Herald as well. No jungle objectives claimed by Eclipse whatsoever. And the Jinx far behind the Twitch right now. There's only 1 kill on the team of Eclipse, and that's in the hands of the Lulu. So that pretty much tells you the story so far about this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the game looks a lot in Syndicate's side right now. But I think we have seen a lot of games turn around. I think Syndicate needs to keep the mental, needs to believe what they're drafted for, and needs to keep playing with a strong mental and look for that 25 to 30 minutes mark where their champions actually become monsters. So, I mean, nothing is lost, nothing is won, till the players are on the go.
Yeah, there are pings going topside. They really want to drive their Asol. Asol recognizing that he's in a very precarious spot, gets out of Twitch, instantly pops his R, but now Twitch, you are pretty alone. You're gonna get knocked up by a lot of CC. The bailout is not enough in time. The shutdown Huge shutdown picked up by the Jigs. No, the Mundo's going crazy in the backlines. But now, fight. Why are you guys overextending from the side of Eclipse? There was no need. You picked up the Twitch. You merely picked up a lot of gold. You can just walk away from the exchange. But no, they just got a bit too greedy. They just got a bit too big for the boots, and they paid the price. And an excellent snipe from downtown by Kagura onto the Lulu, who's not had the best of games. Bad positioning yet again, as well as with the recall. Excellent snipe coming in. The only benefit of the point over here is Eclipse did pick up a huge bounty from the Twitch, and it went to the person who needed it the most, being that Jinx.
I think beautifully played by Syndicate. If you realize I think Lissandra by mistake pressed out on herself instead of Twitch, because of which Twitch just melted the Lulu and Jinx enough, and they went overextended in the fight, not respecting enough the Hueli.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and they got they just overextend, get punished. Yeah, and it's pretty funny how the Lissandra just ulted herself there. Still, they managed to pick up the kill on the Twitch, and they were pretty much done. But no, the Lulu recalled in vision of that minion, of that cannon. So definitely a very known spot for where the side of who is gonna, snipe her off. Third Drake of the game has spawned, and complete domination from side of Syndicate in terms of at least vision as well. The side of Eclipse are trying to maybe put a ward or two down over here, but Drake's being dragged out. Twitch is gonna get the wave pushed in mid side and then come out to help over here. Top side, Gwen has TP, Asol does not. So I don't think you want to challenge this as Eclipse, because you are TP less. You have the TP disadvantage, and this is not what you want. They're smartly backing away. Lissandra W's outside, but a great cataclysm lands on two people. Here comes the Renata Glass ultimate. By the time it's going to hit any targets, they are already dead. Lulu's also going pretty low. Harambe is chasing forward with the Q resets, and the amount of damage is enough. Lulu flashes out of that. Here comes the R from the Gwen. Now Lulu's left alone. Kill's going to be picked up by Crown. The Drake's going to be picked up by them. It's looking very dire for the side of Eclipse right now.
This game looks like a fiesta, a kill fiesta. I mean, as slow as it started, more excited it got. But by every minute, Eclipse is losing their game. Syndicate is just able to snowball so well the lead that they have maintained. Gwen TP'd in. Since he TP'd in, he flashed and he's like, I came here for a kill. He took the Lulu down. Slowly they were able to take down 4 members of Eclipse, were able to secure the dragon, and I think now slowly they'll be looking forward to end this game as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I think Kagura's been greeting quite a bit, because the TP was channeled over there, maybe not paying attention to the sound cues as well. Maybe he tries to get a kill out, but Rise of Duck does have the damage to get him down. He does eventually get the shutdown. Chonka was playing with his life. That Asol was playing very dangerously over there, but to the benefit of doubt, Eclipse do manage to pull it out. Here comes the Super Mega Death Rocket. It's just, an icing on the cake for the side of Syndicate. You can see that we're taking their Artacan, and there is nothing that Eclipse can do about it, except maybe the Mundo goes and steals a red buff. But these are just consolation points. It is not looking good whatsoever.
And at this point, Syndicate is already at a 7k lead. So it's just so big that he's literally walking down to mid 1v2ing and melting their whole team. At the same time, Hue has shown some pure class of skills this game. I think he has done some wonderful plays, especially in this game with that Lulu snipe, with that 1v2 in the mid and others. I think Hue has had an amazing impact in this game, and I look forward to watch him play more. Buzz Lightyear is my new favorite to watch.
Yeah, Kagura doing an excellent job on the way. Had a bit of a slow start in the game, but now he is also snowballing as well. Deadeye is not going to let the Mundo even take his own grob, and this Mundo pick definitely has not worked out how they wanted it to work out at all. Even the Asol on the top couldn't get the farm, or he has got farm, but his turret's gonna go down. He also can't do much. The Jinx is forever on the back foot. The Twitch already completed the Infinity Edge, looking to do the damage. The Cataclysm comes down, pretty much an elbow from the sky from the side of the Jarvan, claims the kill onto the Asol. There's nothing what his team can do except watch him die, as well as their tier 2 in the middle. And Kamura is still on the top side, just split pushing and trying to pick over tier 2 of his own. Lulu gets pulled in here. Jarvan's going very deep essentially at this point. The Mundo is going to end up killing his own Lulu, and that's definitely what I would call friendly fire. But Jinx is excited. She's coming forward over here. A double kill already picked up for himself. They're shut down, but he ends up going down to the Twitch. Who can you get? Nobody is touching the Twitch enough that you can get the kills onto him. The damage is not there. The Twitch is left safe. And this is going to be a tier 3 going down as well. Maybe an inhibitor to follow as well.
Beautifully played by Syndicate, and this game looks like it's not going to be that long if Syndicate is able to punish Eclipse for every mistake that they've been making till now. I mean, if you saw, the Ace was walking in front of Mundo. Why? Mundo is your tank. Stay behind. Ace just walked up in front of the tank, got melted. They lacked damage. Jinx was not there, and then Syndicate was just able to run down Eclipse till the tower, getting that first inhibitor.
Absolutely.
And
J4 did overextend a bit.
did.
He did get punished, and he did, it did look a bit dicey. But as long as the Twitch is alive, you have so much DPS coming out from the side of Syndicate. They can't do anything over here, Singla. What would you do as this team right now, Singla?
As which one?
As Eclipse, as Eclipse. I think we all know what Syndicate would do.
As Eclipse, if I was Eclipse, I have to really give all the farm to my ASOL, give that mid waves to ASOL, try procuring as much farm as I can, but not over push. I would give the soul point, I would give everything away, just wait for ASOL to become a monster and pray to God. Literally, I think there's nothing else that you can do at this point. All you have to do is hide behind Mundo, let him tank for you, protect your Jinx, and believe in Jinx and ASOL to pull out the miracles. There's nothing else. With the amount of goal lead, the goal lead is almost again around 9.5k for the team of Eclipse, and the game is just looking lost every second. Because with inhibitor lost,
Yeah.
I think Syndicate is just gonna prioritize the soul to Baron to game, and I'm not really sure what they can do about it.
Yeah, you can see how scared Eclipse is to walk up anywhere. They're pretty much fighting tooth and nail for jungle camps at this point. The Mundo is so far behind. 0-4 and 3. He has his Deadman's completed, but it's a bit too late. Oh, look at this. Mundo's gonna walk up into Abdo and Deadice. Deadice just goes in with the flag and drag. Mundo instantly pops his ult. With the Cataclysm, you're locked in place. You can't go anywhere. Here comes the ultimate from the Hue. Here comes the Renata Glass ult as well. And that's a very dead Mundo. For the 5th time, unfortunately, he sees the grey screen. They should have, as you said, not even gone to challenge in their own jungle at that point without vision. Give up the soul. Get your Aurelian soul up in farm. Get his stacks up. Try and get a play that way because it looks a bit lost otherwise. As you said, pick up Cloud Drake here. You have a free Baron as well. The side of Eclipse are just too scared to move from their base, and very rightly so at that.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Chemtech Soul. They're just gonna walk for the Baron. They have the damage, which is already at 2 items, about to finish its 3rd item. Gonna take that Baron, go back, run down straight. You have the game. I don't think so. Syndicate is gonna delay this anymore. They have their eyes at the win. They have the resources for it. The whole team is just gonna back, get those items, run down mid, end the game.
That definitely
And that's what
does seem
exactly
like
they're
the
doing.
plan. Exactly what it seems. They get their resets in. What are you gonna do as Eclipse? You pretty much have to just wait and watch. Your wave is 2 foot forward, pushed up in mid. You can't even catch that as a Aurelian Soul. The best you can go is hope for the top wave, because you can see the Twitch coming bot side. He's gonna try and push this in. They really want to get maybe a 4-1 combo going on with the Gwen going alone mid side, the rest team going towards the bot side. Get the
Bot
push
side.
in there, and that seems pretty much what is going for it. So just sitting in base at this point, what can you do without not picking any farm? You can't get your stacks up. Even your Jinx is fairly behind in terms of itemization, almost an entire item behind once the Twitch completes the Mortal Reminder. And Twitch, this man has been keeping on the pressure since he's got his first kill.
No, but that's very exciting what you highlighted. How is Jinx ahead of Twitch? Jinx has an whole item. I mean, has an item above Twitch. I think that's the shutdown that she got from Mundo. But at this moment, still, I think Aesol and Jinx have a lot of damage because Jinx has also finished its 3 item mark. If Lissandra can go in ult the Twitch before he can take out the damage and they're able to free shoot, maybe there is hope. And Ace will get the
Oh,
perfect ult, but this,
yeah, this
I
seems like
think
a very dire state for the side of Eclipse. They get a perfect ult over there. Harambe is going into the base. They're all base fountain diving at this point. Asol gets very two consolation kills for himself. Deadeye is not done. Lulu's gonna collect one more for herself. She has 2 kills to her name. Kaoru is trying to finish her off from this spot, but Jinx is the Lulu is healing up. The minions are pretty much going to end the game, and that's all she wrote, at least for the chapter of semi-final 2. It's gonna be Syndicate taking the series 2-0 against Eclipse and booking their slot in the finals tomorrow.
I was so excited to see the Ace pick into the Gwen on the top. I truly think that was a very smart play. The draft was nice, but they could not play what they planned for. I think Eclipse, you were there, just a little bit more of macro, training among yourself. And next year you have a much better chance. Or next tournament you have a much better chance to do what it needs.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. They made a lot of early game mistakes, and maybe even worse than what they did in game one. I honestly do think this comp is a unique one that can be run well, but you have to play according to that game plan. That's what we said. You have to get to the stage where you're so far ahead, but you've already given the Twitch such a lead that BSR coming in clutch before he got those 2 kills for himself. A bit of a hoshposh during the Grubs fight over there. You allowed Deadeyes. Deadeyes did a fantastic job with this J4. He's pretty much everywhere across the map. Didn't let Mundo breathe for a second. And Harambe taking complete advantage of pretty much nobody being able to reach him. Excellent Renata ultimates coming out in these team fights. At one point, you saw the Mundo basically cleaving away his own Lulu to death. And it was just a pretty hilarious sight that being, but a nice hard fought battle from the side of Eclipse. But Syndicate, yet again, establishing dominance, take the series 2-0. This time, a bit of difference, bigger difference in terms of kill 23 to the 8. The goal difference became 12k from the 11k earlier on, 10 towers for Syndicate to the none of Eclipse. 1 Baron done, the Soul provided, the Herald gone. I don't think a single jungle objective was picked up by the side of Eclipse. And talk a bit about our MVP over here, Mr. Singla.
I mean, Dead Eye was just amazing. I think giving him that he did what what he was expected. That aggression was Shinzao or that aggression with J4. I think it was an absolute beauty what he did. I mean, I love the dive that he did early on, killing that Lysandra, diving the bottom. He gave his team the pressure that they were looking for, taking them to victory. I think it's a very well deserved MVP, and Dead Eye did a wonderful job today.
Yeah, he definitely did do a fantastic job. Had a good game on the Zinjao, an even better one on the J4. And Harambe got MVP first game, very close contender for MVP second game, given that he's just snowballed his lead, made very few mistakes. There was a nice fun fountain diving at towards the end, but all in all, a bit of Syndicate dominance against essentially what was a 5 individuals coming together to make a team. They got very far in the competition, and remind you guys, they are not out of the qualifiers yet. They have to face against RPG tomorrow for the 3rd and 4th place. If they do end up winning, they will actually still end up qualifying for Legends Ascent South Asia. So it's still not the end of the road for Eclipse. They have one last chance to fight back and try and earn their spot in that amazing tournament, the Legends Ascent South Asia, the 10 lakh INR prize pool, as well as that spot in the LCP wild card playoffs. So it's not all but lost, and hopefully they learn a bit from the mistakes they made today. They'll watch over the VODs a bit and understand where crucially they're going wrong as a whole team and not just as individuals.
I mean, with that, I think we had a wonderful night. We had a wonderful games that we had to watch. I think with today's game, the learnings are there. They know what they need to do. They still got the chance. It's no war lost yet. Got to learn, got to know, got to repeat, and got to make it. With this, thank you everyone. Thank you for watching and being here in this game with us. We'll see you in the Rift very soon.